Hello everyone, Gomez here for the LAN Update, back into hype season as we know the 3 new champions we're going to be getting and just like new cards, a new keyword with Lurk. Let's get in. I'm really hoping we're going to see a champion tonight because let's face it, like I said, we saw the 3 little cards last night, 1 from each region, and hopefully we'll be going into a champion. So let's get into this. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping for a champion today, but sadly it doesn't look like we're gonna be getting a champion. But we do have all of these cards, all from shurima. So let's get in here. As you can see, we are hitting more lurker cards, which we got the keyword lurk yesterday. I didn't do a video on those, but I will maybe quickly add those cards in at the end. But lurk obviously is, as long as they're on top of the deck, they make all other lurkers have +1, like when you attack forward once per round. So let's get into this. 3 cost lurker. So when it plays, it predicts. So a little bit of the predict synergy work. Like that's actually like the perfect lurk card in the fact that you want to be trying to predict to put cards which are lurkers on top, which will then plus stats to this one as well. So basically, if you're dropping this down on 3 and it's your attack turn, you predict into a lurker bin on top of the deck, go forward with this, and it should instantly increase its damage to being 3, because it's like the lurk effect is when you're attacking forward, like with the lurker on the top, it pluses all lurkers. So technically, I'm guessing that's how that synergy is going to work, but we will find out when we actually get into the game. But that's actually a really good, like, the fact there is actually a lurker that has predict is actually quite devastating, and then we get to see or is this just straight up, so just a burst speed 0 cost card? Because it's not a token card, because it does actually have things. So this is just a straight up card, which is burst speed 0 cost predict. So yet again, another very nice predict mechanic card, which is also going to be helping us out with like potentially like more lurkers, or Zillion, I guess, if you wanted to go down the time bomb route, or just like cards, knowing what you want to have at the top of your deck when you want to have it. It's really going to help with lurkers, but in order to like predict is such a good mechanic because it is basically the heart of the cards thing, whereby you are defining what that next card's going to be. So you get to make your choice out of 3 cards what it's going to be, or you can press the skip button if you don't like any of your options. Actually, I was thinking this was going to be a token card. The fact this actually does have this, so it's just a 0 cost predict card, is actually quite nice, and that now means there's more 0 cost cards in the game, which is like spell wise and whatnot. And considering the fact they already have Riot of Calling as a 0 cost card in that region, it's just nice. It's just nice to know. So we've got another. Let's go on to our other lurker as well. Let's get all the lurkers out the way. So this one's actually got Overwhelm, which on this kind of archetype, these are the cards that you're looking for, because every single time you're attacking forward, you're giving like plus stats to all the other lurkers, and so a lurker which has Overwhelm is actually like the one you're looking for, because that's like your end game of that deck building process, right? Because at the end of the day, you can make all these big units as big as you want, but if they can't hit it, if your opponent just keeps blocking them, because we are in shurima, which I guess other than Lucky Find, like those things, like the ability to grant Overwhelm or give Overwhelm to something is not easily found in there. And with the fact that you want to be maximizing like how many lurkers are in the deck, at this moment in time, we've only got 2 regions, which is Bilgewater and shurima, which have lurker cards. So therefore, like, unless any of the other regions get given lurker, this is like the kind of like one that you're after. But yes, where my head is, this one, the 6 cost lurker, is actually a 3/6 which has Overwhelm and Lurk. So that's a nice little thing to be aiming towards, is every single time that you're using like getting that Lurk hit, that's going up in attack stats by 1 every single time, and that is going to be your nice, like, that's pushing that damage in Overwhelm wise. So that's actually very nice to actually see there is a lurker with Overwhelm. And obviously it's been discussed already, but if you're using Bilgewater and that's actually maximize it, then also you can use what's his face, like a Bone Skewer, to make sure you've got a lurker on top of your deck, as well as all these predict ones. But it's actually really good, as I said, that they've given a lurker predict for free. So the only other one is a burst speed 3 maker. So careful prediction to play. Place a card from your hand into your deck, predict, then create a copy of the chosen card in hand. Wait. So to play, like, so it's kind of it's kind of like we say, like to play this, place a card from your hand into your deck. So you're choosing a card which is going boom back into your deck, then predict, then create a copy of the chosen card. So technically, so what this is doing by the looks of things is, it's number one, it's cycling. So if you've got something big in your hand that you're not going to be using for a long time, say this lurker here, you draw them at the beginning, it's like, I don't really need them right now, I'm not going to be using them until turn 6, I kind of want to get their things up, throw them back into the deck, play this, and then whatever you choose as the predicted card is going to the top of your deck, and you're getting a copy in hand. That's how I'm reading that. Which actually, yeah, again, that's actually really nice, the ability to be able to get more cards. So, almost like, what's his face? Well, I can't think of names right now. Almost like, why is my mind, the PNZ card, I use it so much. Counterfeit copies. It's kind of like counterfeit copies in that it's making another copy of a card. Like I said, it's giving you that and that. So, I like, because I've been already thinking about experimenting with going back to doing a PNZ shurima deck using counterfeit copies with like the feline and things like this. So actually that ability to be able to use, like, potentially that idea here would be a lot of fun. And so love it. I love the fact they're giving us more predict, because then that means, because we need to remember is every single time they give us predict cards, it makes Kahiri slightly more viable. He's really not viable, because the amount of times he's historically the most unpredicted man. He is the one who's in the card art. He is historically the most unpredicted man. But the fact that whenever you get more predict cards, it is good. So I actually do love all of these new cards that we've been given today. I was hoping for a champion, but we've hit more lurkers, which is good to see. Now, I said, that's just what I can already see some of the ways these are going to be working. But let's go boom and actually check out, because Gomez didn't talk about these cards from yesterday, so let's just quickly go into them. So they gave us one from each region, which we're going to be getting champions from. So let's just go through them one by one. We've got the Fallen Feline, which I'm really hyped for this card, in the fact that I love anything as crazy as this. So Fallen Feline is, when I'm summoned, create a why can't I think of names right now? Hexite crystal, that's the words, in the bottom 10 cards of your deck, which obviously the Hexite crystal is what we've got over here. The 2 mana fast speed, which is if you see me in a prediction, draw me, and when cast, deal 2 damage to all enemies and the enemy nexus. So really powerful effect, 2 damage to everything, including the enemy nexus, for 2 mana is crazy value. And I've got so many different plans I want to do with this card, bearing in mind it is a summon effect as well. So there's some bits of my mind that obviously you kind of want to put this in with predict synergy, because predict is shuffling up the cards, which means that this card goes, like the crystal goes from being in the bottom 10 cards of your deck to anywhere in your deck. And obviously the more predicts that you've got, you can predict the cat. And my idea is basically to use counterfeit copies, as we mentioned, to put more of these into the deck, shuffle up that deck and get a bunch of them, because the value of the crystal is actually quite devastating. And the fact that you don't have to even concentrate on that as being a thing, because basically there's a number of things you can counterfeit copy. You can counterfeit copy the feline itself, you can counterfeit copy, say if you need to use the the workers, the sump workers, which go in elusively, but when you make more copies of them, they make the posse. There's certain things, or even making more copies of Kahiri himself. The synergy between PNZ and shurima is getting that little bit nicer. And so I've got really crazy, stupid ideas in my head going on with that. Obviously, I cannot wait to see Echo, the new PNZ champion, and what they do. That's gonna be what's really gonna be decision-making processes going on there. But also, there is ways of using this because of the summon ability here. There are technically other things that you can do with that. There is obviously a lot of summon 1 costs in Bilgewater, where there's a slight chance this might hit that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I was actually maybe considering Shadow Isles with this, and the ability of making copies of this in a number of different ways. Yet again, put in the sump workers, whereby obviously, so when they get 2 of them, you make a posse, so that you've got two different ways. So you've got Fallen Feline and that, and then things like Fading Memories and things like obviously innovative improvement already within PNZ itself. But Shadow Isles has got a lot of cards where basically you can either kill something to resummon it, or like you could potentially make more summons of something. Like that's what I'm thinking, to put more copies of the crystals in, and then to be able to use Stalking Shadows, because Stalking Shadows is still a shuffle up kind of move. It's less reliable than predict, but the idea is there, and so that's why I'm like slightly considering that crazy idea. But it's a really fun card, and honestly it's got me hyped. I do love the fact that we're getting more Von Yip cards. That's just amazing in general. And then we've got the Swarm, which is the Bilgewater Lurk card, because I did say earlier that Bilgewater's got a Lurk card. So it also starts with a free attack. So when played, like I get a free attack, which like is a big thing for Misfortune. Like if we're talking about Bilgewater cards in general, like or champions in general at the moment who are gonna gain from this, obviously Misfortune gains quite a nice bit from this, and obviously if you've actually got Lurker synergy in that deck, if you are running, say, let's face it, people are already contemplating Misfortune and Azir because of the like shurima and Bilgewater Lurker synergy, putting those two together, things like this, getting that free attack, especially if you've got Deus or Azir out, and so you're getting like the what's his face is going forward, the Sand Soldiers going forward in this free attack as well. There are definitely quite powerful synergies that can be made within this, but I love the fact that we're getting some Lurker synergy. I want to see more Lurker cards in both regions, to be fair, and so it depends on what, like, I kind of also maybe want to see one or two in other regions just to open that door. But I do really like this Lurker synergy and its whole thing of whenever you attack forward, as long as there's one on top, then you're buffing the whole deck, and the more that you put in the deck, the more likeliness that one is going to be on top of the deck. Obviously, I said with Predict and with Bone Skewer and like moves such as that, we might get more moves that make these things happen. The likelihood of you making sure before attacking is actually quite good. I love the fact they put the stipulation is once per round, so you can't just use like rallying effects or scout to basically, or even this itself, let's face it. So obviously if the Swarm were to go forward in a free attack, that would be buffing the whole deck, and then you get to go forward again and buff all these again. So I love the fact they put in that little clause of once per round. And we've got the Hatchling as well, which is the shurima 1-cost Lurker, which starts off as a 1/1 with Fearsome, but that Fearsome can be quite powerful, especially like I said for a 1-cost. If you can keep on hitting this Lurker, like Fearsomes can be quite devastating. We know how that can go off. I mean, obviously they've got the 1 health, so that it does make them more vulnerable to a lot of different things like Vile Feast or whatnot. So yeah, Withering Wow, but still really nice cards, and honestly this has got me so hyped. And obviously we had the trailer the other day as well, which is just like yet again got me so hyped. I was really hoping for a champion. We didn't get one this evening, but hopefully when you see me again tomorrow, I will be smiling on, smile on my face as we go for a champion. But really good cards nonetheless. I hope that you enjoyed yourself today, and bear in mind, obviously, shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. If you didn't know already, you can catch me on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That time schedule has been a little bit kind of on the rocks at the moment, because I didn't stream obviously on Monday and Tuesday this week because of like the new puppy that we've got. It's been taking up a lot of our time, but hopefully we'll get back to some normality in the near future. There's also the Discord link down below if you want to get in there and talk about all deck strategies and ideas that are cropping up as the new cards come out, or just like saying in the, oh my god, I can't believe this new card and things. Please feel free to jump in that Discord and have a good time. So like I'm in there quite a bit, so if you have any questions on that, please feel free to, as well as obviously the comment section down below. And if you're watching this and enjoying yourself, why not consider hitting that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and help me towards my end of year goal of hitting 5,000 followers / subscribers. If you are already followed or subscribed, thank you so much. Honestly, it's what keeps me going, so thank you for your input and whatnot. Anyway, until next day where we get more reveals, goodbye. Flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Say anything from you. Save me. That doesn't save me. Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.